Vice-Chancellor, say hello to a few thousand people.
Hello everyone, delighted to be with you.
To just describe where we are and this very special room in Harper Adams University.
So, we are sitting in the Vice-Chancellor's office of Harper Adams University, which was previously the Principal's office when it was established as a college and then a university college. Mm-hmm. So, myself and everyone who's led this institution has used this office, and it's an important part of the main building on the campus.
If walls had voices, it would tell some tales, wouldn't it?
Oh, it certainly would. Certainly would. There's a very odd doorbell thing over there, which I keep pressing and nothing ever happens. So I don't know whether that's to connect me to the past of the institution or not.
Yeah, it's probably a conversation for another time. You think of how eclectic Harper is, formed in 1901. You've got the old element of the campus, and oh crikey, the building, the fabulous buildings that have come alongside. So, Vice-Chancellor, I just wanted to start this off with, I think you've got a problem. And the problem is as follows. I was attended a rugby event, other sports are available, over the weekend down in East Anglia. And I was on a table, hospitality table, and there was 12 people on that table. And I very quickly established that out of the 6 people on that table, 6 had a distinct correlation with Harper Adams. Either they'd attended, or they've got kids here, or the businesses actually involved with Harper Adams. And as I went round everyone, I asked them, just give me one word to describe Harper Adams. And out of the 6, 5 said excellent, and 1 said outstanding. So to me, the problem that you've all got is you've got this establishment that is defined externally as excellent. How do you make excellent better? This is your problem, I think, that how do we keep Harper Adams at the pinnacle of where it is and take it to the next level? How do we solve this problem?
It's a great problem to have, and all I can say is having an excellent and outstanding institution is the foundation of everything that we're going to do in the future. So since 1901, this place has been directly relevant to agriculture, to food, to farming, and is loved and respected by many, many generations of different people. But we're at a really important time. If you think about the news headlines, how often have you seen issues around food, farming on the news? It's just now gone from being something that people thought of as a specialist area to something that is much more in the general conversation of everyone. The one thing though about excellence is it's only excellent if it happens today and tomorrow and the day after that. So what we've got to do is we've got to think about how we build on that amazing, outstanding legacy that we've got and make sure that Harper Adams stays relevant and excellent for the future.
And Vice-Chancellor, what attracted you to Harper Adams? You could, the world is your proverbial oyster. You had a great career out in Australia. We love some of the memorabilia that you've got here. What attracted you to this eclectic university, Harper Adams?
Simply, I just think this is an exceptional place and it's doing really, really important work. So if I think back at different points in my career, I was chair of a school board in Coventry in the late 90s, early 2000s. And it was in one of the most disadvantaged areas of Coventry. And one of the things that we realised there and then was if we didn't provide access to equitable food to the children who were coming into school, then we were affecting their life chances. And from that point on, so if we didn't give them the energy to start the day, then how are they going to compete with everyone who's in a much better position to themselves? You then fast forward to my time in Monash, University in Australia. I had responsibility for the work that was going on in agricultural technology and also food technology. Just seeing the amazing way in which technology and data is transforming what we can do with food, what we can do with the land, what we can do in terms of support of animals, food production, well-being. So really, really exciting. So when the contact came with Harper Adams, I did think it was a bit strange because I automatically assumed that it would be someone from a purely agricultural background that would be the head of the institution. But what they talked to me about was the fact that it is a highly innovative institution, a deeply committed institution, but one that really wants to develop its global footprint, and I think that's something I can bring to the university. And
that's why we need you. We need you not only for Harper Adams, but for the sector as a whole, because we were talking earlier with Ian that if you want to be critical about the sector, we can be deemed to be quite myopic, and we need to broaden it out to make it more attractive, not just for the consumer, but also for people to collaborate with the likes of Harper Adams. So to have you in is, to me, is a breath of fresh air. But presumably, in such a role, is it a bit like being the prime minister or the England football coach? That at some point, you know how this is all going to end, but it's not going to end like that for you. But you've got to keep going. You've got to move on past the honeymoon period. So what's the plan? Now you've been in here for a period of time, and your team is getting organised around you. Can you tell us some of the plans for the future so we can get even more excited about Harper?
So I think the key thing, you said it before, is you've got to have an outstanding team. And if I look right across the senior team, but also across the employee base at Harper Adams, we're really, really privileged, just the sheer quality of people that we've got. And the thing that really summarises the university for me, people talk about can-do organisations. Yep. This isn't a can-do organisation, this is a will-do organisation. So we go one stage further on. We will always think of an idea and we want to translate it. So wonderful staff community that we've got here. But also, just talking to the students, doesn't matter what discipline they're from, they are so deeply committed to not just the study of what they're doing, but how that translates into practice. That's why we have so many people who come with employer connections already as part of the student population. That's why we're so popular. I think the key thing, though, is that this issue around food security, animal health and well-being, food production technology, it's gone from being a local national issue to being an international issue. And we've got to face up to that, and we've got to grapple with that. So Harper Adams has got deep international connections, but we don't recruit as many international students as we should. Why do I think that's important? That's not only important for the sustainability of the institution, but it's also important for the experience that students have within the classroom, the conversations they have. You don't only want them to have conversations about things which are relating to just being up the road.
Absolutely. And the work that we do overseas in the likes of America and South Africa, we keep on promoting Harper Adams, and I love what you say. It's a bit like when you go to a conference, you learn a lot at the conference, but actually 50% of what you learn is sometimes at the bar with the people. And likewise, if you've got American students here, or South African students, or Australian students, the osmosis that's going to happen within those peer groups would be amazing.
It is, and we've got to open those opportunities out. So the communities that we already work with, we want to continue to attract them to the university and give them the best possible experience they can. But we do need to recognise that we need a lot more people to go into these sectors from a range of different communities. So we've got to be willing to go out into urban areas, into international areas, and make ourselves more attractive. And when I've spoken to employers, that's what they're telling us. They're saying we need people to bring an international, global perspective to the job. So even if they're working in a small little environment in Wiltshire, they are still competing on the world trade, particularly post-Brexit. So they do need to be able to bring that understanding, that insight, and that empathy.
So great. So we've got the people. We can see how you're going to bring more students in, whether it be from the UK, from different sectors, or internationally. Companies. Have you got a desire to collaborate, to partner with more companies to create that success as well within the sectors?
So the obvious answer is yes. We have deep relationships with a significant number of companies. We've got well over 1,000 companies that are part of the work that we do already. But I think there's more we can do. When we think of ourselves in terms of the research that we do, we can help companies to plan for, plot for, and solve the problems that they're going to face. We obviously are the source of talent for a significant group of people. So our high employability rates are a testament to that. But the other thing, and you mentioned it before, when I go out into any company, I'm in these sectors, I'm going to bump into Harper graduates. So this gives us an opportunity to connect and reconnect with our alumni and stay relevant to them throughout their career, not just during their time that they're here. And one of your governors and I have spoken about it on a number of broadcasts before, Barbara Bray, where we talk about the Dutch diamond, that in Holland, the horticultural sector is in some respects far in advance of ours, because they have the link between government, academia and business. They've got this lovely virtuous iron scenario which they call the Dutch diamond. And I think, again, that's where Harper is pivotal, that you've got that link with industry and their education element. We perhaps park government for a moment, because that will get sorted hopefully in the next 2-3 years. But again, we're sort of asking you to step up
to work in collaboration with business. Because you think of most businesses now, especially within the food sector, the margins are so wafer thin, but they need to innovate, and perhaps they can't, or haven't even thought about this, they can't innovate internally, whilst if they partner with you, whether that would be with the university directly, or have placement students or postgrads coming in to help them with projects, that's going to be beneficial all round.
It absolutely is. Firstly, it needs them to have an openness of mind to want to explore. We've certainly got the appetite to want to collaborate.
Yeah.
We are a naturally collaborative institution, and that's why our new strategic plan is all focused on collaboration and the power of collaboration. But if I go around this campus, we've got the Future Farm, looking at the next generation of what we're doing in food production and animal husbandry and support for the often under pressure food production system. We've obviously got the work we do in Arable. We've got the whole way in which we see the campus. As far as I'm concerned, this is a living laboratory of the possible. So if industry is out there and they want to come with us and explore with us possibilities for the future, then we've got the openness of mind and the attitude to do that. Yeah. And it's really important that we do.
Yep, and I find that businesses that are either curious or worried actually do something about it. So you're sending out this open message that if there are businesses who need help, and want to explore other areas to make them future-proof, to make them better, whether it be graduates coming in, placement students or graduate staff, and to do deep dive research projects for the ultimate gain, you're very open to that.
We're very open to that, but also remember that we work as part of a set of institutional collaborations. So if you come through the door to Harper Adams, you're not only coming to us, you're coming to every other institutional connection that we've got. So whether in the UK, our collaborators or our international partners, if you bring your problem here, if you bring the opportunity here, then if we haven't got all of the expertise, we will just connect people in from different collaborative partners to make sure you can access it.
Okay, so collaboration, that network. So come on, Vice-Chancellor, just tell us what you want from all of us, whether it be ex-Harper students, whether it be companies out there, whether it be placement. What do you want from all of us, this network, for Harper Adams and your colleagues to succeed? What do you want from us?
So what we need is your advocacy and your support. So we want you to continue to support the university and be positive about it. It's really important that we give positive messages about the industries that we support. We need more people to go in. We need greater diversity of people to go into these opportunities. So if we can work with partners on providing opportunities for younger people to be able to experience in advance what it would be like to work in these industry sectors, then that would be great. Collaborate with us on research. Don't talk to us at the end of a problem. Talk to us at the beginning of a problem. You know, we've got hugely open-minded people that can come. And the other thing I'm really focused on is the future sustainability of the institution, because we know that we've seen a high number of specialist colleges and institutions in this space that have become parts of other institutions. We are absolutely committed to Harper's independence.
Thank you.
And we want to make sure that it can be sustainable. So any opportunities for investment, co-investment, we're very keen to talk.
Yep. Okay. So let's sum this up. Give us your view of Harper Adams University in a sentence. We've been asking everyone else this. It'd be fascinating to hear how do you summarise Harper Adams in a sentence?
Can I introduce the sentence?
You may.
And then have my sentence.
It's your office.
So I was thinking about a conversation I was having this weekend. So over the last couple of years, I've been supporting a new charity that's been set up in Uganda, and it's called Tayapi for Peace. And this is a community-based charity which is wanting to increase the number of orphans that are able to go into education so they can learn land sustainability and fend for themselves and earn an income in that way. So when I hear this number pushed around 10, 11 million people who are going to need access to greater equitable access to food, sustainable food production, and in a way that's actually going to protect and preserve the planet, I have those communities in my mind. So I think about the people on our doorstep within Shropshire, and I think about the people in the Teso area of Uganda. The thing that's amazing about this institution is that we know not only how to find the answers, but when we have the answers, to make them real. So if you want to see a problem in terms of food supply, animal production, in terms of support for animals, land use, water use, whatever it is. This is an institution that is deeply and totally committed to exploring those things and making it work. It's a phenomenal institution, and I'm absolutely proud to be its Vice-Chancellor.
Vice-Chancellor, thank you very much. So what's the halcyon message here? The Harper Adams University is robust, but for it to go to the next level and to be beneficial to the sectors in the UK and internationally, we need to support Harper Adams, the Vice-Chancellor, and all of your colleagues, correct?
100% correct. Now is the time to step up and step with us. We're going to use our voice much more influentially than we have. We are going to have to start talking about some of the controversial topics that people often don't want to talk about. But we're a university, that's our job. But we can't do it alone. We need our partners, we need our alumni, we need our students, we need our employees. We need government, we need everyone. And we will be right in the middle of that collaboration, and together we'll make the difference.